Hello there and welcome. In this video, or rather video series, we are going to take a look at NiceGUI. NiceGUI is a Python module which allows you to basically let any browser be the front end of our Python code. And it is a pretty interesting concept, and I believe that I would like to dedicate a few videos to this. I have been experimenting with it. So let's go to our desktop, create a nice folder, and create a virtual environment called Nice. And after the virtual environment is created, what we would like to do is to activate it and pip install NiceGUI. If that's the right one. Yeah, this is the right one. And I finally got a decent internet subscription. So, yeah. It's not the fastest, but it's something that I can definitely work with. Alright. So, basically, as every video, this should also start with a hello world example. Yeah. So pip install nice. I don't know why, but recently I find that Python tends to stuck on some installation step or whatever. So how do we use that? Let's call this hello world.py, and basically what we have to do is to import the UI, and on our UI we would add a label, and this label can be a hello world label. And we can call the UI.run. Let's go back to our console. It is still working. Well, actually, this is working on its to start. That is and UVcorn, PyWeb, fast socket. It takes some time. So we have, if you take a look at the documentation, we have multiple different elements that we can use, and we can also use Markdown, Mermaid. We will have a video for Mermaid diagrams. It's basically a markup language which allows you to create fancy diagrams, and yeah, it has a decent arsenal which allows you to develop. So it's still running. How long? So yeah, let's wait for it to complete. Maybe I will speed up the video. So come on. Contour click. Is it working on something that much? All right. So finally, let's run the hello world. And if we go to our browser, you can see that we have the hello world label. If you take a look at the source code, it is going to pre-populate it with JavaScripts and whatnot. And if I take a look at the hello world, you can see that this is the data which is sent out. And if you go back, this is basically an element, and the framework will take care of how that element should be translated so that the browser can understand it. Let's take a look at another example. So in NiceGUI, we also have the option to use icons. And for example, from NiceGUI, import UI and UI.icon, and let's call this thumb up, and the classes text 5xl and the UI.run. So if we go back and run our icons.py, we should be able to see this thumbs up. So how do we get here? Basically, we have a reference which contains the possible names. And if I were to go ahead and try to swap it out for settings, you can see that here we have the settings icon. And basically, if I swap out here my settings, so the icon is not the thumbs up, but rather the settings, what we should see is that there is a warning because it's automatically going to reload our interface, and now we can see the gears. All right. What we can also do is to use avatars. So let's create a file avatar.py. From NiceGUI, we import the UI, and the UI.avatar is going to get our favorite border with the text color red 11 and square is true, and the UI.avatar is going to come as an image from the HTTPS NiceGUI.io logo square.png, and the color is going to be green 2, green-2, and we can use the UI.run. And if I go back to my console and run the avatar.py and it starts, we should be able to see this one. So let's go back here and see what's the problem. So we have the text color gray 11, and we have the square, but now we can see that the icon is green. All right, let's see another element. We also have the option to create buttons. So from NiceGUI, import UI and the UI.button, and let's call this click me, and we have the on click, and this on click can be basically any function that we define. So for example, on click we can print button pressed, and on click, and yeah, let's run the UI. So here we use the Python buttons, and if everything goes well, we should be able to see the click me, and we can see that the lambda is working. We can also change the behavior. So for example, I don't want to use this, but rather the lambda. And basically it's going to be a UI.notify button clicked. So now if I go back to my GUI and start it once again, you should be able to see a notification. And there we go. All right, there is another one that I would like to show you. So the next one is going to be basically, where is it? Toggle element or toggle element. So let's call this toggle.py, and from NiceGUI we import the UI, and from, no, we don't have another one, so toggle equals UI.toggle, and we will have the Daniel, Beans, and Gabriella, and the value is going to be Danielle. And if I go to the UI.run and execute the Python toggle, we should see the following in our browser. You can see that the default is the value which was specified. If I want, I can add multiple toggles in the script, and I can also associate with it some kind of bind value. So another toggle is UI.toggle, and let's call this a dictionary 1A, 2B, and 3C, and basically the bind values, another toggle, and value. And we can use, hold on, let's do it differently. So we will have the toggle, and basically let's shift it to Daniel, Beans, and Gabriella, and now run it, or at least wait for it. So we have the toggle and bind value, and now we can go ahead and see it working. Alright, so in this video that was all I wanted to show you. See you in the next one.